What's up everybody, it's Audrey. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited because, as you may or may not know, a few days ago it was my birthday and I just turned 19, and I thought of this video a few weeks before my birthday, and the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to do it. So after my 19th birthday, I kind of just started making a list of 19 things that I've learned at 19 years old. So today I am going to be sharing that list with you, an insight as to like how I think and how I've been able to think the way that I do and be happy with myself. So I'll be talking about 19 things that I obviously have learned, and these are in no particular order. It's just I kind of just wrote kind of what came to mind and some of the more important things in life that I felt needed to be shared. The first thing that I wrote is that you are in control of everything in your life, as far as the actions that you do, the people you have in your life, and the way you feel towards things. This is something that a lot of people don't really agree with, but I feel like after having a different mindset, that is, your choices ultimately make your life, and you get to choose the life that you live. The next thing I wrote is that the most important person in your life should be yourself. When it comes to growing up and living life, you should always be choosing yourself. You should be very selfish in that aspect and want the best because it's for you and it's not for anybody else. At the end of the day, you are kind of just on your own, essentially, and you should just always be selfish with what benefits you the most. The next thing I wrote is that self-discipline is one of the best characteristics you can have. I feel like with self-discipline, if you are able to manage it really well and be in full control of it, you can ultimately do anything in life, whether that be going after your dreams or simply just having real control of your life, like saying, okay, I'm only gonna be on Netflix for one show and then I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna go do what I have to do next, or I'm gonna study from this time to this time and I'm only gonna take a 10-15 minute break and that's it. And it's like that self-discipline that ultimately creates a very successful future for yourself, because at that point you are in control of your life and not the objects or things around you. The fourth thing that I wrote is that manifestation is real. I feel like there is definitely a different energy in the world when it comes to manifesting something. Manifesting can be kind of related to almost praying in a sense, but just kind of like not so religious, or not like religiously. I feel like there is a huge like energy in the world that if you say something, if you write it out, if you feel something, if you're able to imagine yourself living a certain lifestyle or living with something that you want, it will come to you, as long as you keep on manifesting it and don't have any negative energy towards it. The fifth thing that I wrote is that being open-minded will bring you new opportunities, and I feel like these opportunities could potentially be big opportunities. I know if you're very closed-minded, like the majority of people are, you kind of are limited to the opportunities that you can take simply because you don't believe in, that was very loud, simply because you don't believe in new ways of thinking. That's okay to an extent, but I definitely feel like being open-minded can open some new doors for you and your future. Number 6, self-image is very important. The way that you present yourself, the way that you come off as a person, and the way that you look has a very significant impact on the way that people will treat you and people will think of you. If you are a very, very successful person and nobody knows you, and say you're like a millionaire, but you're going out in like sweats and you're going out in sweats and a sweatshirt, and you know, you kind of looks like you just got out of bed, like, and you present yourself to somebody, they're not really going to take you seriously as if you were kind of just dressed up nicely, well groomed, and like well taken care of. And I just feel like your self-image ultimately like reflects the way that people perceive you as. The next thing that I wrote is that you don't have to go to school to be successful. I feel like this is definitely a misconception, especially in today's society or today's generation. We're often influenced by our parents who didn't have the opportunities that we had to go to school, go to college after high school, and that's the only way that you're going to be successful. But personally, I don't think that. I know that sounds a little bit contradicting because obviously I am going to college, but I'm going to college because I have always imagined myself going to college. I've always imagined myself graduating from college, and that is eventually what I'm going to be doing. But I just don't feel like college is the only way to get you to the real life that you want. I feel like there are many different ways, especially right now, in the time of new technology and new ways to make money through the internet, through your phone, through different ways. There are so many different ways to make a living or make your dream lifestyle come true. And it doesn't have to be through college. A lot of people actually go through college and get their master's, get their PhD, and end up having to repay all their student loans through their job that they have, and then they're not making enough money. And sometimes even people who have master's degrees are not even making as much as an entrepreneur would. So that's kind of my take on life. I just don't feel like you have to go to college to be successful. But you obviously do have to do something if you choose not to go to college, whether that be working, starting your own business, going to the military. It has to be done. You're not just gonna get the lifestyle that you want just by sitting at home and doing nothing. The 8th thing that I wrote is that life isn't about partying and messing around with people. I feel like this is probably one of the most controversial things that I have written on here, simply because everybody just thinks, oh, I'm in high school, oh, I'm in college, like, yeah, like I have to go out, I have to go party, I have to go, mess around with some people and do this and do that. But like, ultimately, you don't. You really don't. Like, unless you're like super worried about what other people have to say about you or judge you about it, I don't feel like you have to do any of that. You can live a perfectly great life without doing anything of that. Personally, I don't party, I don't drink, I don't smoke. So I've just never seen like the whole reason as to why people would. This is just me personally. If you do, then that's you. Yeah, this is just like my own perspective. But I just don't feel like that's all that life is about. So don't feel pressured to be in those situations when you're uncomfortable. The 9th thing that I wrote on here is that your dreams can become real, but only if you want them to. I feel like we grow up thinking that dreams are a reality that can never be reached, and you can only see and feel and live in your dreams, which is why they're called dreams. But I feel like I'm very against this. I feel like there's a different level of commitment, dedication, hard work that needs to be put into your dreams to receive them. Of course, everyone's gonna have a different perspective on this, but I feel like you can do anything if you only want to. There's a lot of things that we say, oh, like, I want this dream house or I want this dream car, but your everyday actions aren't aligning with those. So is it just something that you want but don't really want, or is it just like a reality that's never gonna happen because you don't choose to? The 10th thing that I wrote on here is that you have to go after what you want and not expect it to come knocking at your door. You can't say that you want to get money and you want to go to school and you want to do X, Y, and Z and sit around and do nothing at home. You just can't have those things if you aren't gonna put any effort towards it. It kind of aligns with the one I just previously said. So yeah, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't really think about or don't really want to. I'm not sure. It's a real insight to what life is actually like about. The 11th thing that I have on here is that you have to change the person that you are to change your future. And a lot of people hate change. I am one of those people. I am very super uncomfortable when it comes to it, but I know that this is going to bring me to a new level of success, and if you are not changing, then nothing new will happen. If there isn't anything that is impacting your life that will change it, everything's gonna stay the same. If you stay the same person that you are 2, 3, 4 months from now, your life is gonna be the same, nothing's gonna change. So I feel like you have to go through a stage of a lot of uncomfortable and a lot of change to change your ultimate future. The 12th thing that I have written on here is that you shouldn't listen to somebody who doesn't have what you want. And I feel like this is another one of those controversial things, because we are always told as kids, like, you have to listen to your parents, you have to listen to your elders, you know, and that makes sense and everything when you're growing up, but once you kind of gain a mindset of your own, you have to be willing to go against those things if the people that you are listening to do not have what you want. If you want to be a doctor and your parents say they're teachers or something, you can't really listen to them the way that you would listen to somebody who's actually a doctor. This kind of makes sense, obviously, when thinking about it. If you want to be a millionaire, you can't listen to your parents, your relatives, your friends who aren't millionaires, because they don't have that experience. They don't have the mindset that it takes to get to that level of success. And I'm not saying disrespect those people, but just simply take what they say with a grain of salt, because they don't have what you want. So why would you listen to them and the things that they are saying, if that makes any sense? I think it does. We're moving on. 13 is just very like flat out and simple. Be nice to people no matter the past. Be nice to people in general. I cannot tell you how important this is in life. Once you leave high school and you venture out into the real world, just be nice to people. You never know what people are going through. You never know what people have on their mind. You never know how people are being treated, and being nice is free. Being nice is easy, and no matter what is going on in your life, you should still radiate that positive energy, because if you give off that positive energy, then you will receive that positive energy in one way or another. 14. Have a private life, or if you have a relationship, have a private relationship. I feel like this is very, 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 very important, especially in today's time, because with social media, we're kind of just told to put out literally everything about our lives, and it's kind of creepy once you can go through somebody's whole account and figure out almost every detail about them. And I just feel like having some type of privacy with the things that you put out will ultimately help you and benefit you in your future life. I don't feel like if you're in a relationship, or even in your life in general, you should be putting out personal issues or personal problems, because the only thing social media is going to do for you is just talk about you, and people are going to know all of your problems, and people are then going to judge you on that as well. So definitely have some type of privacy when it comes to putting some things on social media. What I refer to that is not by keeping everything a secret. As you may or may not know, I'm in a relationship and I feel like it's pretty private. People know we're together, you know, it's not a secret, but people don't know the things that goes on in our relationship, and that's kind of like the way that you should keep a relationship if you want to maintain it. You don't need to tell everybody your problems or what's going on in your relationship or what's happening with that person, what's happening with you, and so on and so forth, because putting it on social media does not help the issue at all. If anything, it just creates more problems. 15, I feel like this is one of the most important ones that I put on here. Joking about depression and suicidal stuff is not funny, shouldn't be taken lightly, and is definitely not a joke. I used to do this a few years ago, and I would say some really blunt and disgusting things about myself and with other people, and now that I've been able to grow from that and literally learn so much and be at a very positive mental state, I don't know why I ever did that. I ever said those things. It was very toxic and very negative, and it just wasn't benefiting anybody in any way. Stuff like that just shouldn't be taken lightly. It shouldn't be a trend. It shouldn't be something anybody can say without raising some type of concern. So just don't joke about those things because they're very serious topics. The 16th thing that I wrote on here is surround yourself with positive people that are supportive, that are caring, who are real friends, who celebrate your successes, who are there for you and your failures, who are there to support you in any way that you would like them to be. This is a very important subject because the people who you are around impact your life significantly, if you want to believe that or if you don't, but it is true, and I've personally felt that and I've been able to experience that. Be around people who are positive and who you believe are your real friends, because there are many people who are out there who are just your friends to talk about you and to just not support you and not be a positive impact in your life. The 17th thing that I wrote on here is that more people like to look rich than actually get rich. I feel like this is a very interesting way of actually living life. A lot of people like to save and save and save and save for a luxury brand item for months and barely get by paying their bills on time, just to go out and buy Gucci shoes, a Gucci belt, Balenciagas, or a Louis V bag or something like that. And it's interesting because people love to look rich, but they don't really like to get rich. And they're not willing to sacrifice that kind of like time in between to actually do something that will get them to that lifestyle. Instead, they like to remain comfortable and remain kind of like in the middle of things while saving and saving and saving and saving just to get that luxury brand item. It's a very interesting perspective, but just know that a lot more people like to look rich than actually be rich. The 18th thing that I wrote on here is that it's okay to walk out of somebody's life for your own good. Like I said before, you have to be very, very selfish with the person that you are and the people that you keep around in your life. It's not selfish to. I feel like you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day, and if that includes walking out of somebody's life who you thought you would be there forever with, then if you know that that relationship, if that friendship isn't good for you, just do what benefits you. Because if you're staying in that relationship, you're staying in that friendship, you are not helping yourself and you're not being good to yourself. No matter how hard it may be, no matter how hard it's gonna hurt, life is gonna go on and you're gonna be fine and that person's gonna be fine. You are eventually going to grow away from that person, from that situation, and you will be okay. The 19th thing that I learned, and the final thing that I learned that I put on this list, is that not everyone was raised the same way as you. And I know this sounds very like, well, yeah, of course nobody was raised the same way that I was. But it's true. People aren't gonna have the same morals. People aren't gonna have the same values. People aren't gonna think the same way. People aren't going to act the same way that you believe is kind of like a general perspective of everybody. People are very different from you, and everyone's raised in a different way, and you just have to do your best to keep those kind of thoughts to yourself. If it's something that you're not agreeing with, if it's something that's kind of bugging you, kind of just keep it to yourself. There's a lot of things that go into how people were raised, and yeah, I just feel like it's very different, and you shouldn't expect somebody to act the way that you think is okay simply because you were raised in one way and they were raised in another. But I feel like if there is any weird tension between you and a different person and you're just not getting along, then it should definitely be talked about in a civil way and very calm, and kind of just get each other's perspectives and kind of understand them in that way. So that is it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I loved doing this video. I've said video like 7 times in the past 3 seconds, but it's fine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really liked it. I liked doing it. I'm planning on making this a video that I do every year after my birthday, and kind of just sharing pieces of advice that I learned within the past year of every year to share with you guys. So yeah, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love and support that you guys have given me these past few weeks and these past few months. I appreciate it a lot, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye!